So, moin and welcome to our second webinar of our Intune Suite webinar series. Together, we will have a look on remote help, cloud-connected and secure assistance to workers anytime, everywhere. And yeah, today my colleague Daniel is joining us. Daniel, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Felix. My name is Daniel Rung. I work for glueckkanja as a cloud engineer. I'm working mainly in our managed Intune service as reporting, monitoring, and automation in Intune. Felix, and you?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Felix Hollermann. I'm also a cloud engineer and colleague of Daniel. And my focus is everything which is connected with Intune, Windows 365, and Azure Virtual Desktop. Yeah, and today we will go on to have a look on Intune Remote Help. The agenda for today. First of all, an overview and use cases of remote help, then the licensing and prerequisites, configuration and setup with a live demo from Daniel, session control and workflow with a live demo from my side, compliance and auditing, security features, troubleshooting, and at the end, best practices and the roadmap of remote help. If you have any questions during this session, please use the Q&A section, and we will go on at the end of this presentation. So, the overview and use cases of Intune Remote Help. First of all, there's a thing to clarify. There is a tool named Quick Access, or in German Schnellhilfe, and Intune Remote Help. The Quick Access tool is the built-in remote help version for consumers. You can start it with Control, Windows, and Q. It's free to use. It's built in the Windows OS. But there's no secure desktop or USC support, so it's okay when you must help your grandma in the evening in a browser problem. And there are no security features. And today we'll have a look on remote help. It's based on Quick Access. It is an add-on tool. It must be installed on the client. It is fully integrated into Intune. It needs to be licensed. It's designed for enterprise. We need an organization login with Enter ID. It has had a restriction in the own tenant. And it has more features, especially security features. What is Microsoft Intune Remote Help? It's a zero trust-based helpdesk support tool with strong identity via Enter ID and credential access and MFR. It is multi-platform approved, so we can use it on Windows, macOS, and Android. We can use it only for screen share or for full control, so that the helper can control the session. We have an RBAC scope helper access feature, so we can scope custom roles and build our own roles. We have an Intune admin center integration, so we can start a remote session like here on the screenshot. When we are on the device page, we can directly start a remote session. And we have a built-in audit log so that we can create and reporting. The service dependencies of remote help. There are two components. On the one side is Intune. The Intune component has the RBAC inside, so we can define scoped roles for remote help and build our permissions. We have the compliance state from Intune for remote help. So remote help checks is the device compliant. If not, show a warning or permit the access. And we can deploy the remote help app via Intune. So these are the three Intune parts. Then we have Enter ID with conditional access. We can create own conditional access policies for remote help so that the supporters needs an Entra joint client and needs to authenticate with multi-factor authentication. And as an add-on, we need to license it. currently you must buy an add-on for remote help or use the Intune Suite. Yeah, but there's a change during mid this year. Yeah, that's the reason why we start this webinar series. Yeah, Daniel, would you like to tell us something about key use cases?
Yes, let's talk about key use cases. The most common use case is probably the one for the service desk to remote troubleshooting on Windows, macOS, and Android devices. There's also the possibility to support bring your own devices and personal devices, also which are not enrolled to Intune. The option for the only operating system is Android, which has unattended support, so you can support kiosk devices which running Android on it without any user on the device. Really new is the support case for Azure Virtual Desktops, pooled multi-session devices. And if nobody has the remote help app is not installed on the helper side or on the sharer side, you can also use the web app as a screen sharing option. And yeah, how to use remote help app on Windows. First of all, the remote help app needs to be installed on the device. The easiest way is, the first way is you download the remote help app from Microsoft and build an Win32 app from it and deploy it through Intune. Or you use the Enterprise App Catalog. If you use it, you can just add the app. There is currently no remote help app through the Microsoft Store available. If you are a customer from us in ReamJoin, our companion to Intune, you can also add the app via our package store for Intune or over our ReamJoin agent. In Windows, there are the key features of remote help. You have 3 options. You can just screen share, just full control, or you can also make an administrative elevation. So you can elevate your Windows Labs admin or whatever. It supports also unenrolled devices. So if your conditional access lets you, you can log into remote help web app or to the remote help app here with your Enter ID. And the session can be started over Intune. So macOS is a little bit different, but most of the parts are similar. There's also a download link from Microsoft where you can download the most current version of the remote help app as PKG file. You just can package it and deploy it via Intune. The auto updates will be done via Microsoft Auto Update on the devices. And also for this case, we have in our ReamJoin package store for macOS the app already packaged, and you can get it from there. And also the newest versions will be deployed from there. Key features under macOS is so for data privacy, you need to set screen sharing options on the devices. So remote help can have the permissions to screen share your device. Currently, there's no push notification on the macOS device. If someone wants to connect, the user needs to open remote help by himself, and he needs to put the 8-digit code from the helper inside. Yeah, and also there, screen sharing full control. Not a real elevation like on Windows with secure screen and UIC, but we tested it. It's ready for labs from Intune. And yeah, let's go to Android. On Android, it's a little bit different. You don't need to download somewhere the app. You just add it through the managed Google Play Store in Intune. It's not for any Android devices, it's only for Android Enterprise dedicated devices and only for the Samsung and Zebra devices. For Samsung, you also need Knox, and for Zebra, you also need the special OEM config in an Intune profile. It's, like I said, the only operating system where you can have an unattended session. And for Android devices, you need also the special app configuration policies, because the remote help app on the device needs to have permissions for the camera. This is the only way the screen sharing can work on an Android device. And while you are on an unattended session connected to the device, it's also the only device which has a screen blackout then. Yeah. Last option, this one is for macOS and for Windows devices. Also, the helper can use only the web app, don't need the remote help, but there is only working the view-only mode, so no full control, no elevation. Yeah, Linux, we tested it, but Microsoft says it's not supported, but it could work on a supported browser. Yeah, sometimes it depends on the weather if it works or not. Yeah, on the web app, the helper and the user gets different websites. So the helper needs to open AKMS RHH for remote helper, and the user just RH. Both need to be it's the easiest way. You need to support a browser like Safari, Chrome, Edge, Firefox, and logged in via SSO. And yeah, Felix, do you want to tell us about licensing and prerequisites?
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Licensing and prerequisites. Yeah, currently you must need to purchase a remote help add-on or the Intune Suite to use it. But during mid this year, Microsoft has announced that it is included in the Microsoft E3 and E5 license, so that the most customer can use it for free. Yeah, but currently you need to assign the license for both users, for the helper, also for the IT support, and for the end users. And yeah, you need the Intune Plan 1 license as base, so that remote help is an add-on. Yeah. Another prerequisites, yeah, you need Entra joined or enrolled devices. Unenrolled devices are supported, but you must enable it by default, and the setting is off by default. You need an Entra ID account from your tenant. The helper and sharer must sign in the app with the Entra ID account. And there's no cross-tenant or external user support, so that everybody can only support in their own tenant over remote help. There's a network requirement. Port 443 over HTTPS is used for the Microsoft address, and use TLS 1.2. And on Windows and macOS, remote help app requires Edge WebView 2 runtime. Daniel, would you like to say something about configuration and setup?
Yeah. How do you configure remote help in your Intune tenant? So before you can start with setting up a remote help in your Intune tenant, you need minimum one license in your tenant, and after that you can go into Intune tenant administration, and basically I will show you in the demo. You just enable remote help. You have two more options. One is to enable tenant-wide the unenrolled devices. So if you want or not, you can disable and enable it there. And you can also enable tenant-wide chat feature. So if the chat feature in remote help should be enabled or disabled. One more part, it's in my opinion a must-have. It's you can place a RBAC concept. So with least privilege, who should connect to which devices with which rights. Yeah. And there you have also the options. You can, first of all, you can use just a built-in role, the help desk operator role. It includes in the moment all the features which a remote help app has. So full control, view screen, elevation, unattended control, and the remote tasks. If you have like a first level, second level, and you want to control the first level, maybe can just view screen or take full control, and the second level can also elevate and unattended control. You have all the options with the custom roles in Intune to manage this. And every role can have a scope with a portion of clients which are scoped. So we also have a regional construct. Let's go to the live demo. I will share my screen. So now we are in our lab tenant, and basically you go just in, you log into Intune as Intune administrator, go to tenant administration and remote help blade. You have here 3 tabs. The first one is the monitor. Here you can see the current sessions or how much sessions it was in the past days. Under settings, you start the configuration of remote help. These are the only tenant-wide settings you can do. So if you start with remote help, you need to enable it, and you can choose between unenrolled devices not allowed or allowed, and disable the chat or not. And if you do so, you're finished and ready to connect to devices. In the remote help session, you have a little audit log, which saves the data for 30 days. You can see who was connecting when to which device. And yes. And for the RBAC roles, you can see on the roles. First of all, we have the help desk operator role. This is a built-in role everybody has in his tenant. And you can see the remote help app here has all the 4 permissions to connect, and also the remote task for offering a remote assistance. But you can also create your own RBAC roles, which have a smaller permission set, and you can do what you want.
Perfect. Thank you, Daniel.
Yes.
Then I will take over the screen share again. So, and yeah, now we have a look on session control and workflow. Yeah, starting a remote help session. Yeah, as I mentioned before, the helpers can launch sessions from the Intune device panel. Yeah, when you open a device page in Intune, you can go over the 3 dots at the top and select yeah, new remote assistance session. And yeah, the helper and users can also use a session code. If they exchange the code, you can also start the session. Yeah, the helper choose the session mode, full control or view only. The user, the sharer must accept it. And in the session, you have some capabilities. Yeah, you can use the full control, view only, use the UAC elevation, and you have a session chat. And how it looks, we will have a look on the live demo. And now I need my Windows 365 machine and my Hyper-V machine. Just 1 second, I need to resize it. So this is the device opened here in the Hyper-V machine. And yeah, it's enrolled by my user, but he is signed in another user, ID Kabel. And now I want to connect to the session, to the device. I select the 3 dots and use new remote assistant session. Yeah, the remote help app is selected. I can continue. Now Intune sends in notification to this device. Yeah, the toast notification, we can open remote help. On the helper device, we need also to open remote help. We can do it via an hyperlink in Intune. So I want to take the full control. We accept it. And now we are connected to the Hyper-V machine here. And so, yeah, we have some options here in the device panel, in the remote help panel. The first thing is the UAC redirection. If we enable this mode here, we are enabled to interact with the UAC or the CQ desktop prompt. When I try to open a command line as an administrator, the UAC is redirected and I can interact with it. And here we have the monitor selection. If we have a multi-monitor scenario, we can choose if we want to see every monitor or just one monitor. And here's a laser pointer feature. When you want to show something to the user, you can also paint something, but it's disappeared after some time. You can choose a color here at the top. This is a laser pointer feature. We have also a drawing feature. When you want to draw something which is not disappearing, it's also working. You can also use different colors and so on. Then we have a resize button. We have a chat function when we want to chat with the user. It's a little bit not so noisy the chat. The only way to see that the user has got a message is the red dot here, but maybe Microsoft is working on it, so we can send message back. Okay, chat feature. Then we can restart the device with 1 click here, and also open the task manager. So 1 click. Yeah, and this is the session control features here. And yeah, we will leave the session for this here. Okay. Close everything. Okay, so this is the full remote help experience with the remote help app. Now we have a look on the version over the web. I will open those addresses. Now I must enter the code from the helper. Something missing here. Okay, share screen. Yeah, I have only the screen sharing option. Here's no full control possible. Okay, we want to allow it. So now I can choose if I want to share only a tab in Microsoft Edge, a window, or the entire screen. We want to share the entire screen, share. Yeah, and here we are. So here's no control possible. We can only view on it. But maybe for some use cases, it's the right tool. So now we have both scenarios on Windows, and our colleague Daniel has a MacBook as at his desk, and we want also connect to it. So we go to our macOS devices in our tenant. Here's a MacBook from Daniel, and we want to connect also with a remote assistant session tool here and open remote help. And now we have a passcode for Daniel.
Yes.
Do you see it? Yes.
I hope it's the right one.
Perfect. Then I will start the session.
Yes.
Yeah, the session is running over the web, and under macOS we have the option to take full control, not only screen sharing. So we want to use the full control.
Yes, and now I need to say also allow or I decline, and I see who wants to start the session. I have on macOS, I have the option to share just the application or the entire screen. I choose here the entire screen.
Yeah, under macOS it needs some time to rescale here, and after some time we have a better view on it. Now it's okay, I think. So I can use the Finder here or type something. Perfect. Then we will leave the session here. Okay, screen share has ended. And I will disconnect from my Windows 365 machine, and we will go on the slides. Daniel, would you like to say something about compliance and auditing?
Yes. So there's one special warning message when a device is not compliant from the compliance settings in Intune. The helper gets the message, okay, this device is not compliant. Maybe it's a nice hint if you know maybe the device is compromised, or maybe it's this is a good indicator why you troubleshoot the device, because the user has this or that. This can be just checked with OK, and you will start to connect. On the next slide, yeah, like I showed you in the portal, for auditing and reports purpose, you see the remote help session reports from the last 30 days. One time, first of all, in the monitor, how long were the last sessions, on which days were which count of sessions made. Yeah, and it's also the session logs are also in the audit logs, can be seen in the Intune audit logs. And like if you configure the diagnostic settings, you can save the audit logs also to a log analytics workspace with even more time back in history. And yeah, let's go to the next slide. This is the view from the remote help session, like we saw. So you can search, add filters, search for just unattended access, for all with full control. And yeah, this are the reportings which you have in Intune. And we have in Ramjoin, we have Ramjoin runbooks, where we have some automations. And Felix, tell us what is one of these.
Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, our companion tool to Intune, Ramjoin, has an Insight on Demand feature. It's based on Azure Runbooks. And one runbook is reporting for remote help sessions, as you can see in the screenshots here. Yeah, you can adjust some filters, what you want to see in the report. So the time range you can adjust here. You can select the session types if you want to see view only, full control, unattended. You can set a minimum session duration. So here selected that we want to see all durations. A scope we can adjust, and we can anonymize the report so that no clear names are displayed in the report. Yeah, and we have a summary with the sessions, devices, users, and the duration and the longest session in minutes, and a breakdown that you can see the counts of view only and full control. And at the end of the report is also in a CSV file when you want to have more further information on it. And there's another runbook.
Yeah, I take this one. The first one was like a reporting runbook for the IT or whatever. The second one is more like a notification feature for the end user himself. Our runbooks are, you can use it, you don't need it. But if you use this one, you can like schedule this runbook, and it will check which were the last sessions in the last hour, and will identify which primary users were on the devices, and will send this message to the user as benefit of transparency. Hey, user, someone was connected to your device. Where you be aware of it, or do you have any security concerns? Please contact your service desk. These messages are, so we have two mail templates, German, English, and also if you want to customize it for your personal business, you have also the option for runbook customizations to have your own text there. And if there are user group you want to exclude, or just a user group to include, there's also a scoping for include and exclude groups, hopefully customizable.
Yeah, thank you,
Felix.
Daniel. Yeah, I will go on with some security features of remote help. So, as we mentioned, there's needed authentication. All participants must use the Entra ID login. It is encrypted with TLS 1.2, and there's no permanent agent, so the sessions are ad hoc and require user approval, except the unattended mode on specific devices. And we can integrate conditional access so that we can enforce policies on remote help, like the sharers must every time use MFA for the session activation and so on.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah, what about permissions and data privacy? We saw it right now in the session. Granularly RBAC is a big point, so you can drive your least privilege built into Intune and Entra with tiering model, like level 1 has view only, level 2 has full control, whatever. Every session has a constant control. A user must approve a session. Only the Android dedicated kiosk devices maybe not. But in the cases of macOS and Windows, every user needs to say yes to the remote session. There's no other way. There are no external controls, like an admin cannot be with this tool stealthy on the client, so the user knows when somebody is with remote help on the client, because of a lot of icons and remote help is started. And yeah, the chat privacy, so for data privacy, the content of the chat is not stored at Microsoft. It's deleted after the session, but if you have any concerns there, you can also disable the chat. Currently, there's no file transfer feature inside remote help, and we don't see that there is some coming up. So the only file transfer are the basic Microsoft things, like sharing via Teams or OneDrive files. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Then we have a look on common issues and solutions. One point is that the remote help app may be not installed or outdated. So ensure that both the helper and users have the app installed and updated to the latest version. And licensing or permissions error, you have to verify that users have a valid license and the helper has the correct Intune role, and so that he can start the remote help session. And some connection failures, check your firewall and the network access, that the remote help service can work, and that both devices have a running internet connection. And on Android, ensure that the device has the Google mobile services running. When you have fresh, newly enrolled devices, the push notifications may take about 15 minutes to work after the enrollment. So in the case of wait some time and retry if needed. And when the user is not receiving a connection prompt, instruct the user to open the remote help app, confirm that they are signed in, and if they have unenrolled devices, ensure that your tenant setting is allowing it, so that the user will not get the not allowed message. Some further details on remote help. Remote help consists of three executables on the Windows machines. There's the remote help exe, the remote help service exe, and the remote help RDP exe. And it's stored under C program files remote help, and it can be interesting for Windows Firewall implementations. Daniel, something about logs and support?
Yes. So if there is a problem with the remote help app itself, there are the client logs in the user path, an app data local temp can find, and for the operation of the remote help app itself, there's the card in event viewer application and services, Microsoft Windows remote help. So if troubleshooting needs to be done, this can help. And what needs to be running is the Intune management extension. So if remote help has an error or isn't working, it's worth to look if the client itself has a problem with the Intune management extension itself, or device which don't sync or has Intune problems by himself, could be issue also on remote help. Yeah, Felix, do we have some best practices, and maybe you can show us the roadmap?
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. First of all, best practices. Maybe you want to start directly after this webinar to enroll a remote help into your company, and here are some tips how you can start. Yeah, start with a pilot group. You may start with your IT department and start to deploy it and to use it. And when you deploy it, you should also make a decision how you want to implement the airbags or to deploy the roles in Intune. So mind the least privileged permissions, and only grant the minimum permissions you need for your colleagues. And maybe you want to configure multi-factor authentication and conditional access. And before you start the rollout for your whole company, you should communicate to your users how to use it, how session works, and inform user that support will never request passwords. It's always useful to say it. Yeah, and I look on the roadmap of remote help. It's the unattended access feature is announced for July of this year, and so that you can use remote help to unattend access Windows devices, maybe for kiosk devices in the entrance hall, or an AVD personal session when you want to troubleshoot something without the user. It is announced for mid this year. We are excited on the feature, and some one last thing from Daniel.
Yeah. So it's what deliver our services for remote help. It's like a summary, because we talk about the things. The two runbooks are in Reimjoin integrated. So if you're a Reimjoin customer or a managed Intune service customer and you are interested, it's basically included. And also, if you're a Reimjoin customer, we have the software deployments for Windows, macOS app deployment. So it's included in the package store and can be used then. And for managed Intune service, we are working on reporting. So when we have our monthly review with our customers, that we can present there what something about the sessions. And we are in the session at the end. Thank you for your attention. We saw a lot of Q&A questions. Our colleague Stefan was going through this session, through the Q&A, but I think there are a couple of open, but a lot should get an answer. If you have any questions further, you can just write into the Q&A, and now we start looking at it, Felix, right?
Yeah, maybe we start at the bottom of the Q&A. Okay, here's the unattended remote access feature. We mentioned it on the roadmap. Okay. about the A licenses.
Yeah,
we are not using Intune as entry point for our supporters. What other? Okay. About the licensing start mid of this year, yeah, of the 1st of July, it's announced.
Here's maybe an interesting one. So it's in German, I need to translate it, but basically the question is what we think is compared remote help to a tool like TeamViewer or AnyDesk, about the performance and what we think about as comparison. From my point, since remote help will be included in June, it's a easy way to have a remote tool which has the features what I think which are not from TeamViewer or AnyDesk, but a feature set which the support can work with. And from the performance, I would say what we tested was good in the last weeks.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. I think another question is, does the copy and paste function work in the remote session and also in USC? Directly not, but you can use session chat to exchange some data, and there you can copy it out and paste it in a USC prompt. Can the labs manage local administrator password be used for unattended authentication on a Windows 365 cloud PC in a remote help? If not, is it planned on the roadmap? Yeah, we must see how the unattended access feature is implemented, but maybe it should work.
Is it possible to control access via groups, roles? For example, with one group, the user always has to confirm, while with another group, remote access is possible without user interaction?
Yeah, maybe we have to wait on the unattended access feature. For now, the user must always accept the session. Yeah, but maybe we have a different answer mid this year. Will the keyboard layout from the host or helper be used? It's a good question. We need to test it, and we can get back to you after the webinar. I will copy your name here, and then we will get back to you. We have to test it.
Yeah.
So there is no recording video of remote help session with the user. Yeah, as the documentation of Microsoft says, there's no recording with the during the session.
And no option to turn it on.
Yeah. Once the connection is established, it's a peer-to-peer connection, or does the remote help connection run through a server? We use a tool that runs through a server. If the users and helper are in the same country, but the server is on a different continent, it can be pretty slow. Good question. Daniel, have you an idea?
So I was not that deep inside, but I would say it goes through Microsoft services. So over Microsoft, both need to connect with their Intra ID. So there's not a direct connection. And for Android and iOS devices, does the remote help tool provide full access to the support agent on the device, or it's just view only? So iOS is currently not supported. Android dedicated devices, yeah, full control, not just view only. Yes.
Okay, so here's another question just now here. Should be EPM with combined with remote help?
I would say EPM is more for the feature for the user. It should be remote help should be combined with Windows Labs or our solution with Rejoin Labs, where you have a local admin password solution. And yeah, but it's not you use EPM, you need remote help, or remote help, you need to use EPM. It's more about use Windows Labs and don't have local administrators, named local administrators on the clients. Or the builder, not without labs.
Okay, I think.
One last question there.
Okay.
Can I run multiple remote help sessions at once with my admin? Yes, you can. So I tested it with 3 multiple ones. Works pretty good without any performance concerns. Let's wait. Yeah. Last chance for a question. I think
Everything
we
is.
have all questions.
Yeah, cool. Then we say thank you for your attention here, and we will see us on the next webinar. I think it's in 2 or 3 weeks. 3 weeks, yeah.
If you want to join, the next one is Advanced Analytics with Stephen and me. And yeah, and after that, Enterprise Application Management and Cloud PKI. So, thank you.
Thank you, and have a nice evening.
Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.